Cardi money. You don't make Offset money. That rumor came out 2 years ago. What the f are you still talking about it for, bro?
I know today has been an eventful day. I don't pay mind to none of that. Like, I don't care about none of that. I don't want you to put me none of that. I don't know if y'all been getting clues from me for my live. I mean, I don't know if you guys been getting clues from me for my lives or from my stories when I put some certain music or from my own followings. When it comes for today's events and stuff, I don't know if it's true. I don't think it's true. I don't care to find out because I've been single for a minute now, but I have been afraid to not afraid. I just don't know how to tell the world. But I feel like today has been
He was a home wrecker. So it's like, you try to home wreck Cardi B shit because you want to be like her. So it's like, what did you say? You left your earring or your ring on purpose so Cardi could see it? Oh yeah, that's when I went all out.
Rumor that Offset hooked up with Chrisean Rock.
Yeah, she got.
While y'all were together?
Nah, I was already engaged with somebody else, so I didn't care. But she has a thing where she likes to make it seem like I care.
Right. So she Offset while he was with Cardi.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Right. The Miss Christian that
Oh, that's bullshit.
Oh, that's just cat, brother. She's like one of these regular grapes on the sidewalk, bro. She's going, and it's no problem.
You don't make Cardi money. You don't make Offset money. That rumor came out 2 years ago. What the f are you still talking about it for, bro? What are you talking for, bro? You just doodled and scribbled all over your face. You need to go to the mental hospital, yo. And you need to go to rehab to get off the K2. You really do.
Okay, so that was that. So Chrisean Rock was going off on Blueface because he went on a podcast recently and he said that she was having sex with Offset while he was still with Cardi B. And it's very clear that Chrisean Rock was not happy with this. I don't know why I thought they were on good terms right now, but I guess I was wrong.
Drama never dies in Hollywood. It just waits for the perfect moment to explode again. And just when we thought the mess between Cardi B, Offset, Blueface, and Chrisean Rock was finally buried, boom, the entire situation has clawed its way back into the spotlight. This time, it's not just old allegations resurfacing. It's Cardi stepping back into the chat, Chrisean's ex-best friends coming with receipts, and Blueface stirring the pot like he never left. The internet is eating it up, but the question everyone's asking is the same. Did Offset really cross that line? And did Cardi know more than she let on? Buckle up because this story goes deeper than anyone expected. 2 years. 2 whole years since the internet first exploded with those now infamous allegations about Offset and Chrisean Rock. And just when everyone thought the drama had finally died, the scandal has clawed its way back from the grave like it never left. Suddenly, timelines are flooded, comment sections are in flames, and the entire situation has resurfaced with new voices, new accusations, and a whole lot of unfinished business. Because now, it's not just Blueface stirring the pot like he always does. It's Cardi B stepping back into the chat with cryptic messages and eyebrow-raising confessions. It's Chrisean Rock lashing out publicly like she's ready to swing on the whole internet. And somehow, Offset, the man in the center of it all, is once again denying everything as the world side-eyes him, wondering if this is another chapter in the long saga of his messy history, or if someone else is lying for clout. What makes this moment different, and what has everyone glued to their screens, is that the scandal isn't rising from thin air. It's coming from the people who are closest to the situation. Blueface, the ex who originally dropped the bomb. Chrisean, the one accused of sneaking around behind everyone's back. Offset, the husband who's been caught up in rumors before. And Cardi B, the woman who has finally confirmed that she and Offset were quietly separated at the exact time these allegations supposedly went down. Now the internet wants to know, was this messy rumor actually the truth all along? Did Offset really cross that line with Chrisean Rock in the middle of his marriage? And most importantly, did Cardi know more than she let on? Because with former friends coming forward, timelines matching up, and emotions flaring 2 years later, this scandal isn't just resurfacing. It's evolving. It's getting louder. And the pieces of the puzzle are starting to fit together in ways nobody saw coming. Buckle up, because if you thought the original rumor was wild, what's happening now makes the first round look like a warm-up. To understand why this scandal has risen from the dead, we have to rewind to where it all began. Back to the moment Blueface lit the match that set the entire internet on fire. It all started during one of Blueface and Chrisean Rock's many chaotic fallouts. You know, the era where they were breaking up every other week and airing each other out like it was a competitive sport. In the middle of one of those meltdowns, Blueface hopped online with the subtlety of a sledgehammer and dropped the accusation nobody saw coming. He claimed Chrisean slept with Offset while Offset was still married to Cardi B. No build-up, no warning, just straight to the jugular. According to Blue, Chrisean wasn't just sneaking around. He alleged she hooked up with Offset in their shared house in the early hours of the morning, and that he'd been sitting on the secret for months. He even implied the whole thing happened right around the same time Offset was on thin ice with Cardi, which made the accusation sting even harder. And because Blueface can never simply say something once and log off, he doubled down with timestamps, house locations, and claims that the entire situation went down at 4 a.m. on November 10th in LA. The internet went insane. Cardi and Offset both trended instantly, and Chrisean's name shot into the spotlight faster than Blue could hit tweet. Offset reacted almost immediately, and he came in hot. Within minutes, he shut the rumor down with a firm and very public denial, saying he had never touched, talked to, or even crossed lines with Chrisean in any way. His tone was serious, offended, and just fed up enough to make people pause. For a moment, some fans believed him, especially because Offset has a habit of denying things quickly when he wants to get ahead of story. But then Chrisean jumped in, and her response poured gasoline on the already raging fire. Instead of simply denying it and walking away, she snapped back at Blueface like she'd been waiting for this showdown. She accused him of making everything up out of jealousy, deflection, and pure spite. She claimed he was the one with shady behavior in his phone, that he was projecting, and that he couldn't stand the idea of her moving on. Her tone wasn't defensive, it was full-blown attack mode. What made things even messy, was how casually she dismissed the allegation. Chrisean didn't treat it like a huge scandal. She brushed it off as just another lie from Blueface, the man she'd already accused of controlling her narrative. But instead of calming things down, her casual attitude made people even more suspicious. And that's when the internet locked in. Because suddenly, we had Blueface swearing he was telling the truth, Offset swearing he had nothing to do with her, and Chrisean swearing Blueface was spreading lies because he was angry at her. 3 different stories, 3 different motives, 0 clarification. And just like that, the rumor lodged itself into the culture, a messy, unconfirmed allegation that refused to die, no matter how many times people try to bury it. Little did anyone know, the story was far from over. Just when people thought the rumor was fading into the depths of forgotten internet drama, Blueface came back swinging like he'd been sitting on a whole folder of screenshots, waiting for the perfect moment to cause chaos. Out of nowhere, he doubled down on his original accusation. But this time, he came with details, timestamps, and a confidence that had everyone wondering if he really did have something saved in that phone. He didn't make vague claims. He didn't speak in riddles. He named the exact night he says it all went down. November 10th, 4 a.m., Los Angeles. And he didn't stop there. He claimed the encounter happened inside the very same house where he and Chrisean were staying, the house she allegedly snuck out of while he was asleep. What made people stop and raise their eyebrows wasn't just the specificity. It was the fact that both Offset and Chrisean really were in LA that same night, attending French Montana's birthday party. Suddenly, the internet was like, hold on, is this man telling the truth, or did he masterfully memorize her location history? The plot thickened when Blueface's mom, Carlisa, who has never met a moment she didn't want to insert herself into, jumped into the chat. Under a post about the situation, she commented, "Blue do a lot, but he don't lie." And listen, Carlisa is many things, but a quiet bystander is not one of them. Her chiming in only amplified the suspicion and added another messy layer to the already spiraling drama. The internet was torn. Some people believe Blueface was simply stirring up trouble because he and Chrisean were feuding again. Others said the level of detail was too precise to be fabricated. And then, a small but loud group insisted that the very specificity of his story made it sound rehearsed. Either way, one thing was clear. The world needed Cardi B's reaction. And, right on cue, she delivered. When Cardi B finally broke her silence, she didn't do it with screaming, name-calling, or emotional chaos. She came forward with a calm, steady voice, almost too calm, and a subtle confidence that made the whole internet lean in closer. In her video, Cardi didn't outright confirm or deny the rumor because, in her own words, she didn't care to find out anymore. She admitted something that flipped the entire narrative. She and Offset had actually been separated around the exact time frame Blueface claimed the affair happened. That revelation shook the internet, because suddenly, the scandal wasn't a story about infidelity within a stable marriage. It became a story about two people who were quietly broken up while the world still thought they were together. Cardi explained that she'd been hinting for months, through unfollows, cryptic songs, weirdly honest live streams, that she and Offset were no longer a unit. But nobody connected the dots. Her tone was soft but firm, unbothered but intentional. It felt like she was freeing herself from the entire situation, not defending Offset, not defending Chrisean, just clearing her own name and stepping back. And that's when things officially spiraled. Because right after Cardi's calm explanation, the people closest to Chrisean started speaking up too. And they were not calm. Nothing hits harder in a celebrity scandal than betrayal, especially when it comes from the inner circle. And for Chrisean, her own best friend became the match that turned this rumor into a full-blown wildfire. The first friend to step forward was Janet, someone who had been by Chrisean's side through countless ups, downs, breakups, makeups, and meltdowns. But when they fell out, Janet didn't hold back. She exposed Chrisean with brutal honesty, claiming Chrisean had always been obsessed with Cardi B, not in a fan way, but in a I want to be her way. According to Janet, when Chrisean realized she couldn't be Cardi, she allegedly settled for something else, being with Cardi's husband. Janet claimed Chrisean even left an earring or a ring behind on purpose, so Cardi would find it. The internet almost combusted at that line alone. But Janet wasn't the only one. Just weeks later, Chrisean's sister Chastity added fuel to the fire when she exposed another shocking detail. She claimed she had babysat Chrisean's son, Junior, specifically so Chrisean could sneak out to see Offset. She even claimed she had receipts, photos, screenshots, timestamps from the night Chrisean allegedly left the house while Blueface slept. But the part that made the internet collectively gasp? Chastity alleged that Chrisean had run in a culture, Cardi and Offset's daughter, inside the home. She said Offset introduced Chrisean to his own child before sending her to the same bedroom he shared with Cardi. At that point, the rumor went from scandalous to downright explosive. This wasn't just about a secret hookup. This was about family lines being crossed, private spaces being invaded, and a betrayal deep enough to shake anyone. Fans were stunned. Chrisean stayed defensive. Blueface kept talking. And Cardi? Unbothered. Silent. Done. And that silence somehow made the entire story even louder. Just when everyone thought the scandal had finally cooled off, like really cooled off, Blueface woke up one morning and chose chaos on a 2025 podcast. And because Blueface never met a microphone he didn't overshare into, he casually brought the rumor right back to life like it was story time at a daycare. When a host asked about Chrisean's past situations, Blueface didn't hesitate. He leaned in, smirked like he'd been waiting for this moment, and said, "Yeah, she messed with Offset," while he was with Cardi. Like it was nothing. Like he was talking about the weather. The internet erupted immediately. Again. But the real explosion came from Chrisean herself. Because the moment the clip went viral, she flew straight to social media like a heat-seeking missile. She dragged Blueface from the top of his head, where the new tattoos start, down to the bottom of his K2 accusations. And she did it loud. She called him obsessed. She called him a liar. She called him mentally unstable. She called him everything but his government name. And then she launched into one of the messiest hypocrisy battles the internet has ever seen. She clowned him for tattooing his entire face like a scribbled notebook, forgetting for a moment that she still has his face tattooed on her face like a permanent screensaver. The irony was so strong, people could smell it through the Wi-Fi. Then came the substance accusations, each of them throwing around rehab shade like they were handing out coupons. It became a full-on, know you need help contest. The back and forth was so dramatic it almost overshadowed the actual rumor, but not enough to bury it because now people wanted answers more than ever. And with every video Chrisean posted, she looked more angry. And with every video Blueface posted, he looked more entertained. And with every minute Cardi remained silent, the story got even more suspicious. The whole thing turned into a circus, and the audience was loving every second. And of course, the internet did what the internet does best, clown everyone involved. The comment sections were pure chaos, but here are the ones that hit the hardest. Not her calling his face tattoos crazy when she literally has his whole head on her cheek like a passport photo. Both of y'all need to stop doing interviews and start doing therapy. The way Blueface lies is crazy, but the way Chrisean denies is even crazier. Cardi minding her business like the queen she is. It's always the ones with the matching mugshots calling each other unstable. Every time this rumor dies, Blueface spins the block like it owes him money. And now we're right back where we started. The same rumor, the same accusations, but somehow even messier. The difference is that this time, we have more voices involved, more details revealed, and more contradictions than ever before. So the big question remains, who's actually telling the truth? Is Blueface exposing something real with these receipts he claims to have? Is Chrisean furious because she's innocent, or because the truth finally spilled out from someone she can't control? Is Offset genuinely innocent, or just keeping the same deny everything energy he's used in every past scandal? And most importantly, did Cardi know more than she wanted to admit? Or was she just done caring by the time it happened? At this point, the story is a maze, and every person involved swears they're the only one telling the truth. But what do you think? Is this a rumor blown out of proportion? A scandal with real receipts waiting to surface? Or just another episode in the never-ending soap opera of celebrity chaos? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because trust me, the internet is nowhere near done with this one.